Warning. The following podcast was recorded by two idiots. It contains vulgar language, vulgar ideas, and poop jokes. If any of this offends you, blow it out your ass.
Son of a bitch bastard!
Let's start this again, shall we? Jesus Christ.
You're fucking retarded.
Hey, Pickle Licker, want to play the right intro?
One more time!
Are you ready?
Well, it's Sunday, you know what that means. Means we got some bitching to do, motherfuckers.
Some people go to church, some people podcast.
Some people, I don't know what they do, but I bet it's creepy as fuck.
How are you, man? How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Welcome to Let Us Cast. I'm Andrew. With me, as always, is Bruce. Gonna make sure we get that intro in there.
Hell yeah.
So, started off, man. Like, fuck. We actually saw each other for the first time, literally in what was it, like 14 months?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, this previous Thursday, because I texted you like what was it, like maybe 2 weeks ago, just going like, dude, we gotta meet up in Boston.
For a reason, not like just randomly like, hey, we're gonna go to Boston and meet up.
No.
But you shared something on social media, and I honestly could just kind of let it slip my mind for a while, and all of a sudden you were like, hey, dude, we're going into Boston, and I was like, why? Oh, fuck, all right, yeah, cool.
Going to movies, we're gonna get our cow tipper on.
That we did.
Yeah, we did, man.
Sure did tip my cow.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. It was a good burger.
Yeah.
Very, very expensive, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get what you pay for, right? And like I kind of explained it to you when we went. Like basically, I think of it sort of like Hard Rock Cafe, something like that, where you're paying for a little bit of the kitsch, if you will, the gimmick.
Yeah.
At least that's how I look at it.
They had a store of gimmicks, but
Well, yeah.
Well, you know.
Well, you know, huh?
But yeah, it was like a Hard Rock Cafe, but the entire thing was just dedicated to Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Well, I mean, specifically like movies, but.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, there were like little like Easter eggs and whatnot. Like if you saw like they had like little pictures of like the board of directors.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It was the people from the board of directors scene from Dogma.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like, all right, that's a nice little touch, man. That's cool. That's cool.
For people watching the video version, there may be an echo that's being caused. Just FYI, I'm noticing like that when you speak, it's showing up on my bars as well. So there could be an echo whenever you're talking, and if so, I apologize. But I'm very low energy today, in case you can't tell. So I'm not fixing that shit. If there's an echo, I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to. These people are just gonna have to wait.
Low energy? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I'm pretty low energy today. I've been kind of low energy for the past like 48 hours. I don't know if it was because of the cow tipper or what, but I've been very like zombie-ish. I was supposed to be working on music, but I put in maybe 2 hours, 3 hours tops.
Oh man, this is one of those situations, man. Like you got to put in time to take care of yourself, because if you don't, your body's gonna make that time for you.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, I've just been doing what I can with the energy that I do have, but yeah, definitely rocking a coffee. So.
Okay. So you're gonna have to poop later.
Oh yeah. I was actually kind of worried because, like, not only was it the first time that we saw each other in 4 months, but it's the first time that I really ate like gluten and dairy in any like substantial quantities since like January. So, I was afraid that was gonna really fuck with me, and I don't think it did, because I think what fucked with me digestively is just the fact that I ate too much food. Period. But I don't think it was necessarily the cow tipper's fault. And it was quite good, considering, like, it was just like this little pop-up thing.
Yeah.
I was impressed with how good it was. I don't know about you.
I thought it was good. Looking back, like, I found one of the old receipts before I fucking shredded it. That was the most expensive chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah. It literally was like a fried chicken sandwich that you would get at like Burger King or Popeyes or something like that. And instead of it being like, $4 and change everywhere else, this one was $13.
Yeah, that is kind of pricey.
Yeah.
For a chicken sandwich, basically.
For a fucking chicken sandwich.
Yeah. Now, granted, it's called a cock smoker, and you're like, tee hee hee. But,
yeah.
Yeah. With you now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, hell, you got free cookies out of the deal.
Yeah. Although I noticed that they fucked up kind of again, because you wanted chocolate-covered pretzels.
I did.
And we got no chocolate-covered pretzels, but we got 2 things of cookies. And it was like, well, I don't have the heart to tell them again that they fucked up.
Yeah, it's like...
here's some more free food. Like, okay.
And it's like, guys, it's fine. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Like, if I really want, like, chocolate-covered pretzels... Like, yeah, I was getting them for the comedic effect, but yeah, I wanted chocolate-covered pretzels. I can stop at like a Walmart or a Target on the way home and get them. So
yeah, seriously,
no hard loss, and I can get more of them for less. So.
Yeah. Well, I can get you chocolate-covered pretzels by 3:00 this afternoon. There are ways you don't want to know. Actually, it's already past 3:00 this afternoon. So now so I can't live up to that. Sorry.
Say, what time zone are you in right now?
He's an asshole.
Ugh. He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?
I thought the onion rings were really good, though. Honestly, like those are some pretty good onion rings.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, the stuff tasted really good. I mean, you even said like the beer that we got was really good.
Yeah, actually, I kept one nearby so that I can show our good viewers at home what the movies can looks like.
Yeah, move it a little more towards the center of the camera.
Well, I got it towards the camera that they're seeing, not the camera you're seeing. But
then
they get special treatments there.
Ass.
There is a pretty like ridiculous set of puns on one of the sides though, where it says, "We heard HERD, our friends at Movies wanted to make an utterly fantastic lager, so we brewed this legendary Pilsner for them. This is the Golden Calf's favorite golden beer." And it's made by Jack's Abbey, which is I was telling Andy, this is a brewery right near us here in Massachusetts. I think they were originally in Framingham. I don't know if they're still in Framingham, but that's where they were originally. But they make all kinds of good stuff. They're a lager-only brewery. They make one that I particularly like called Smoke and Dagger, and they also make another one called Fire in the Ham, which has like bacon flavor to it. It's really good stuff.
I'm just gonna say it, with all those fucking puns on there. I'm really hoping that asteroid that comes down and wipes out humanity is on its fucking way.
Oh, man. But this is called the I'm Drinking It Pilsner.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. What I think I'm going to do is, rather than saving an entire can, I'm going to see if I can just take off the label. Yeah. Because honestly, like, I rinse them out, but you can still it still kind of smells like beer.
Yeah.
And I don't want that.
No. Nobody does.
Right.
But yeah, it was kind of cool because like the bartender was telling us, like, we ordered our stuff in advance. Like we ordered, the cow tippers and onion rings and beer in advance. And the guy was saying, he's like, hey, good thing you guys got these in advance. We sold out of them.
Yeah.
Like,
because there were a couple of people asking, like, hey, can I get the beer or whatever? And he was like, oh, no, sorry, we're sold out. So
yeah, just the people that reserved them were getting them.
Yeah. Good on you for making the jump on that.
Oh yeah, I figure. Oh, okay, it's Kevin Smith related. It's beer. What could go wrong?
Well, the original plan, as far as what could go wrong, was to try to get Kev to sign some of the beer, right?
Yeah.
some of the cans, and then as we found out, he was there like the first day, which was not the day that we went. But
No, it was a week ago, like a week prior to when we were.
yeah, but that I think was the day that or the day after you originally texted me about it to be like, hey, man, you want to go? And it was like, oh, I can't go like this Thursday if you mean this Thursday, but next Thursday I can go because I already have the day off.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well.
But hey, we made it work.
Yeah, we made it work. Fuck
and
it.
yeah, it was really awesome seeing you in person for the first time in over a year.
Yeah, like, that was the important thing, was just fucking like seeing you and reconnecting and whatnot.
Yeah, totally.
So don't get me wrong, this is fun, but
not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Dun 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 dun. It's not the same. This is where we get a copyright strike for me just doing that from fucking Queen.
This is where I get a text message from that fucking asteroid just going like, man, look,
I'm on my way.
I'm held up in traffic right now. I'm sorry.
LA's a bitch. Sorry.
I got a flat tire. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. My dog ate my...
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
But no, man, I thought it was, it was a fun little thing to do and whatnot, and I was glad we did it.
Yeah, me too.
It was the House of Blues, like literally right across the street from Fenway Park.
Yeah.
And yeah, like when I was there, I was texting my one of my relatives, just going like, "Holy shit, I'm at the House of Blues right now. I'm across from Fenway Park." Ah. She goes, "Oh, that's so cool. I've been there before." I was like, "I know. I crashed the movie set here once." Ah.
And it was right like in the spot where we were too, as you were telling me.
Yeah, it was like right in that spot, like even like right down the street, maybe a little bit, but regardless, that's where it happened.
Right on Lansdowne Street.
Right on Lansdowne Street.
That's hilarious.
Well,
tell the story. You can't build it up and then not tell the story, sir.
Well, I think I told it before, but I can tell it again.
Yeah, go for it.
So
for some context.
Well, you know.
You know. Huh? It's called Lansdowne Street.
Goddamn, pal. Context. All right, so this was back in, I want to say it was like 2013-ish. Mick Foley's doing a book signing at the now fucking destroyed Barnes & Noble that was kind of like across the street from the Kenmore Green Line station.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me. I was working at radio at the time, and so it was me and one of the other interns. We're like, "Fuck, man, let's go, man. Like, we got time." Okay. So, like there was like a Green Line stop. I think it was like Woodland or something like that. It was like short drive from the station. I'm like, "Fuck it, I'll just park there, take the fucking train in." You know, either that or there was like another station I could just walk down to. It was like on like Commonwealth or something like that. It was like maybe a 10-minute walk from there. So regardless, we go over there. We're still like maybe like, oh, maybe like hour early for it or something like that. So we're just like, fuck, what do we do? What do we do? So like, oh shit, well, we're kind of near Fenway Park. Like, let's go there. Maybe I can take a piss on it and nobody will fucking notice because it sucks. So we're walking past there. And like, we don't notice there's like a cop and there's like a fucking like one of the wooden roadblocks and whatnot. Like they have it blocked off. Like me and this intern, we literally just like walked right onto the damn street and just like walking by and whatnot. We're not noticing like, you know, the movie equipment that's around us, like microphones, wires, cameras. We don't notice it just yet. So we got over to the House of Blues. And I'm looking like events that are coming up and whatnot. And ironically enough, one of them was Kevin Smith that was coming around.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, so we just hear, we're looking at like the coming events and whatnot. He's looking around like, you know, because he was a Sox fan. So finally we hear this guy scream, like there's like a limousine like right across the street. We hear this guy, "No pictures, no pictures." And I look at him and he looks at me like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, no picture. What the fuck's going on? So then we look around, then we notice the movie cameras, we notice the fucking microphones, we notice the trucks, the catering table at the other end of the street. It's like, oh shit.
It's like that scene in Chasing Amy where he looks around the room and slowly puts it together.
Yeah, he's like,
oh.
Get it now. And across the street, there's where that limo that I had mentioned. Out of the limo steps Brad Pitt, because they were in town filming Moneyball.
Good
So-
flick, man.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you should check it out. I think you'd like it.
I probably
it's about
should.
baseball. It's about baseball. It's a good flick.
Yeah, just because a movie's about baseball doesn't mean it's like automatic like for me.
Well, that's true. Oh, you actually, speaking of baseball and speaking of movies about baseball, you just recently watched 42, didn't you?
I did.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, would you recommend it? Like checking it out?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
like especially like if you're a sports fan or if you're just like a fan of like inspirational shit. Yeah.
all right. Maybe I'll give
Uh,
that a quick spin.
If you're a fan of Chadwick Boseman, do
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right. I forgot he was he played Jackie, right?
he did.
That's cool, man.
Trying to think who else is in it. Harrison Ford's in it. Well, he plays the owner of the Dodgers. Like, let's just play baseball. And pew pew.
black guy playing baseball, and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah. There was one scene I was just like I was watching. I was just like, oh shit! Like this is really this is uncomfortable, man. Was
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of like racial shit in it because I'm sure
yeah.
it was that time where people were
Oh,
gonna be shitting on him. So I mean,
It wasn't the extent of like American History X, for example.
okay, yeah, that movie you need a hug after.
Yeah. Like that movie, you're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
What is wrong with people? Where's that asteroid? But no, so there's one scene. It's I'm trying to think, what's the guy's name? Alan Tudyk. For those that don't know, he was the pilot Wash in Firefly. He's done like other things. If you're a Disney fan, he was the voice of Hey, the fucking chicken from Moana. So there you go.
Hey, the chicken from Moana.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So he's
Not to divert too much, but there's a guy I'm friends with on Facebook who's in the Murdochs, who just became a father recently, and he's like, I watched 152 movies this year, and every single one of them was Moana.
It's kind of weird. It kind of reminds me, like I was flying to Los Angeles a couple of years ago. I was going on vacation for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was like on the way there. It's my niece, my mom, and myself all in a row and whatnot. My niece is watching Moana. I'm watching Aquaman, and I convinced my mom to watch Aquaman.
Nice.
She goes, "Oh, that was good. That was good." like that's good. You should see these other movies. Like fucking Shazam is awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, but anyways,
As you say, anyway, you were saying.
I digress. So he's playing the manager of a of like another baseball team, and like he's heckling the shit out of Jackie Robinson.
Mm.
Like racially just like heckling the fuck out of him, and I'm just going like dude, like I know this is all made up, but I want to kick your ass right now.
Yeah, it gets to that
Like-
level.
Yeah, like just Jesus fucking Christ.
Mm.
Yeah, and it was like that was a scene. It was like it was uncomfortable to watch, but I was like, I get it. Like this is a scene like it has to be in there.
Well, yeah, I
So, like,
mean,
drop-
yeah, I mean, it's like they got to show they got to show people, like, I mean, they got to show what actually happened, or probably hopefully I don't know, but like hopefully they give like a more or less realistic representation of what's going on, if not maybe undersell it just a little bit, because I'm sure what he dealt with is probably worse than anything they would put on a screen. So
Yeah.
if anything, they probably undersell it a little bit, but they have to. I mean, you can't tell the story of Jackie Robinson and not address like the racial shit that he went through. I mean, because that was the time, and he was really the first black baseball player to play in the major. Wasn't he the first black player on the major leagues?
First black player in the major leagues, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I mean, they had their own separate league for a while, but that was the first
Yeah.
like black player in the major leagues. So, I mean, you can just imagine what kind of shit he had to go through.
Oh yeah.
Some people don't have to imagine. There are folks. I mean, because the crazy thing to think about is the time that took place. We're not talking like a long time ago. There are people alive today who I'm sure could tell you exactly what it was like.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little scary and crazy to think that part of our history is not that far in our past.
Yeah.
You know? Like think about when all like the last time there was like really huge racial uprising was in like the 60s and 70s and shit. That was, like 50 years ago. It's not that long.
Yeah.
That's a popcorn. For our country is only just over 300 years old, so or 400, but it's pretty fucking young comparatively.
We haven't really come that far, have we?
No, not really.
No.
In some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
No, it seems like every time we get like a major accomplishment and whatnot, we kind of set ourselves back about 20 years.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of how like weight loss works, where you drop for a while and then you kind of spike back up and you drop for a while and you spike. I mean that's kind of how everything goes. You make little improvements and then you have a setback. You make little improvements, you have a setback. But hopefully the ultimate end game is forward, upward motion. It's not always true, but for the most part, I think it is.
Yeah, but it's also like you think about it. Like there was one year like the same year that we landed on the moon. If a woman wanted to have a bank account, she had to have a man sign off for it. Like she had to have a husband sign off for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, we made this a major accomplishment. Yeah, we should guys like that's great, but let's hold off a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back.
Well, I mean, divorce wasn't legalized in Ireland until like what the middle 2000s or something.
Something like that, but I mean.
Granted, that's a different country, but I mean, still, it just shows that like it takes a while for ideas that we consider to be like logical and reasonable or whatever to really catch on. And the other thing too is, depending on the culture, it might not be deemed logical or reasonable. Like we talked about when we got together at House of Blues, like the whole Saudi Arabia thing, and how it's very much like Saudi Arabia is very in our opinion, shitty towards women, but that's their culture. That's what they know. So it's like, well, is that what they should know? I don't know. Maybe not. In my opinion, no. But who am I to say? Like that culture is thousands of years old, and I mean, you'd like to think that they would progress towards being more open and being, not as shitty towards their fellow people. But I don't know. It's hard to change people's minds. That's all really all I'm getting at. But all you can do is to try to get through to people and with the right message, and whether or not they accept it is kind of on them. So at that point you kind of have to wash your hands of the guilt and be like, well, at least I tried.
It's also one of those things like, I mean, they're using religion to like justify their actions, like, oh, this is what God wants. God wants this. Like, how the fuck do you know? Like how do you know? Like, this guy's gonna cause great famines or punishment, do all this shit because you're gonna let a woman drive. Oh shit.
Yeah, and they're still very obviously against like homosexuality and shit like that, and very very old conservative thinking.
Yeah.
But that's just, I mean, that's like I said, things take time to progress and for people to learn things and for the society to move and grow and move on. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes there's too much resistance. But
yeah,
you can't make everybody fit into the same box. It's true politically too. It's like you have people out there who are staunch Republicans and people who are staunch liberals. And I actually joked with Pete the other day, and I was like, in my opinion, the only thing worse than a staunch liberal is a staunch Republican, because I think they both suck. Because if you're too blindly committed to either side, that you're just like, oh, all Republicans are fucking idiots, or you're a Republican and you're like, oh, all liberals are bleeding heart fucking hand-me-out seekers. Like neither one of those is really the right answer, because there are definitely conservatives who are not assholes, and there are definitely liberals out there who are not assholes. It's just that certain people within those camps like to make those generalizations and just be like, you know what? If you're a conservative, you're a fucking dick, or if you're a liberal, you're a pussy. And it's just like that. I just can't get behind that kind of thinking. I think there's a lot of gray area in a lot of aspects to life, and politics in particular is an area where people just forget that entirely. So that's another thing where like it takes time for those ideas to really merge together in a healthy way. And I don't honestly know if it'll ever happen. It's like we talk about women in the Middle East. Like, will that ever happen? Shit, I don't know. Like, who am I to say? But where do people get their entitlement to say shit like that and to do shit like that? I don't know, but it happens everywhere and in all aspects of life, you know? It's
No,
unavoidable.
but you also think about it. It kind of goes back to what I was saying before. Like every time we make a major accomplishment in the country, we get sent back about 20 fucking years, in the sense of when we elected Barack Obama president, like won the popular vote, won the electoral college, like okay, he won. Fast forward to nowadays, we have an entire movement based around somebody known by the letter Q that's just like, oh, Washington's run by these liberal elites. They drink baby blood to stay young, and people fucking believe it. They're like, they don't want to teach this in school because liberals. It's like, dude, you're a fucking embarrassment on the fucking country.
But then again, you get liberals on the far left side that have just as crazy shit about Republicans. So yeah, you're right. There are people who come up with all kinds of wild conspiracies and shit like that. But it's not singular to conservatives, and it's not singular to liberals. And that's the thing that I think both camps forget to see. And like I said, I think that's true whether you're talking about religion, whether you're talking about race, whether you're talking about politics. Like there's always a my side and a your side. And as the saying goes, there's always your side. There's three sides to any story or argument. There's your side, my side, and the truth. And the truth, generally speaking, is somewhere on the middle. If you think of your side being one extreme and mine being another, like the truth is somewhere along that line. It might be closer to my side of the truth. It might be closer to your side of the truth. That's something we'd have to argue about and debate and figure out where we're at. But ultimately, I think a lot of people forget that things tend to fall on a spectrum. They're not necessarily bam here or bam there. They tend to be somewhere in the middle. I mean, yes, you do get extremists who, have these weird conspiracy theories about drinking baby's blood and shit like that. And those people, you're just not going to reason with. So that would be like the Saudi Arabia of the world, that you're not going to get women's rights over there, or probably not. You can't, what is it? You can't argue with stupid. I mean, kind of think of it that way. You're not going to convince these people, but you have that on both sides of the fence, man.
And I haven't heard any like the liberal conspiracies you're telling me about, man. Like I'm kind of interested in that. What are you hearing?
Not necessarily like liberal conspiracy theories, but like, I don't know. I can't think of a good example, honestly, but like, I do hear a lot of shit where where liberals will just lump conservatives all into one basket. It's like all conservatives, are, hardcore Christians, so they don't support abortion, or they're all really rich and money grubbing assholes and shit like that. They're all behind corporate America and stuff like that, or they just ignore facts. Like you mentioned the thing about, and again that's true on both sides. You mentioned the thing about people getting uptight about schools being liberal and teaching kids certain things because they're liberal. Not for nothing, but most of the universities in the country are liberal, and they're teaching shit like gender science and things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I think both sides of the scale need to be represented again, because otherwise you're going to get just a very narrow set of views. And if you have people, for example, okay, here's a very liberal idea that I would say is just fucking nuts, and that would be defund the police. Like, do I agree with all of the crazy shit that's going on out there? Absolutely not. But do I think that we should defund the police? Oh, fuck no. I think that is a recipe for disasters. But you have liberals out there screaming out like, oh, look at that racism. We can't tolerate this. Like, first of all, I'm sorry to say, but I don't think there necessarily is systemic racism. I think that could kind of be a liberal conspiracy theory. I mean, yes, there are racist assholes in the system, because a lot of people in the system, as kind of we talked about with Braden, have been there for too fucking long. They have antiquated ideas, and they're just stubborn and not getting out of their spot. So we don't have people with more progressive ideas in that place. So you're going to get cops out there who, they're racist assholes, and they do target specific people. But then again, if you look at some of the incidences that are happening, like, for example, we talked about that thing with the taser, and it ended up being a gun. A lot of people are saying that was on purpose. Like, not for nothing. Did you watch the body cam footage? Nothing about that tells me that it was on purpose. And it certainly wasn't race-driven. They were pulling him over for something. Apparently, he had just gotten done sexually assaulting his baby's mama, basically, and was fleeing from the cops. And, this officer, made a fucking mistake. And it was a huge, terrible mistake. And it's not to be excused by any stretch of the imagination. But where liberals get it wrong is that This isn't a race thing. And when you make it a race thing when it's not, you're almost making things worse racially. If you just admit, like, yo, no, she made a mistake and it sucks that now a person is dead, forget the fact whether they're black or white. A person died because of somebody else's mistake, that sucks. But to make it something that it's not sucks even more, in my opinion.
And here's the thing that, like, whether it's a race thing or not, I think just recently in the country, there's been a few years where we've seen cops do shit like this. Like, they kill somebody, whether it be by accident or not. Let's push that off to the side for a quick sec.
Mm.
They'll either, like, just get suspended, but they'll still get paid, and then they come back to the force, and it's almost like a little slap on the wrist, like, oh, don't you do that again. I think it's people are just tired of seeing, people getting away with shit without consequence.
Maybe.
In the sense,
but I wish that's what they'd say rather than just being like, "Oh, it's a racial thing." Like, no, it's really not. Like, look at the footage, look at the evidence, and I'm all for. Like I said, yes, that woman who shot that guy. Like I said, there's nothing excusing that mistake. That is like to think that you're holding a taser when you're holding a gun. Like, that's a big problem. She does not deserve to be out in the field. First of all.
Well, not only
and there's no excusing that.
Here's the kicker too. Like, number one, this isn't like a rookie cop like fresh out of the academy or something like that. Which even then,
yeah,
like if you go to the academy and you're still not able to differentiate between a gun and a taser, like, you're done fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, but she was a veteran on the force, and not only that, she was like an instructor for other cops.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, if you watch the video and she's saying, like, taser, and then she's like, oh, shit, I just shot him. Like, I don't think she was showing, any signs of racism at all. Like, what about that is racist? The fact that a white person shot a black person, like, that does not mean it's racist. Her intentions would make it racist. And I think, basically, she made a very costly and a very terrible mistake. And, yeah, she does deserve to lose her job or something, maybe go to prison for it because, that's manslaughter, bro. One way or another, she shot somebody and yeah, she didn't mean it, but doesn't matter. If I hit somebody with a car and I didn't mean to, I'm probably going to go to prison. So, I mean,
if a doctor fucks up a surgery, like, yeah, there are consequences.
Yeah. And I'm all for consequences. I'm just also all for calling it what it is. And it's not a racial thing. It's like, honestly, not to get like super political again, and this is a really hot button topic, but the George Floyd thing they're saying is racially charged. I don't see anything racially charged in that shit either. Like, I've watched that body cam footage, and he was trying to, Chauvin or the other cops were trying to get him to go into the car and shit, and he didn't want that. He was freaking out already. And then he actually asked to be placed on the ground. Now, I don't think that all three of those guys should have been on him and on his neck and all that shit. I don't think that at all. But what I'm saying is that didn't happen because he's black. It happened because they were having trouble with him in general, and they were trying to do the right thing for him. He was even like, listen, you don't want to get in the car? Okay, no problem. We'll roll the windows down. I'll stand right here. Like, I'll stay with you. Like, if you listen to the beginning part of it before he actually got on the ground and shit, he was trying to do his best to accommodate him the best he could, but it was just like there was no talking to him. He was already saying he couldn't breathe. He was already freaking the fuck out. So it's like, I'm not justifying it, but because, yeah, he definitely deserves some sort of punishment for what happened, but to say that it's racially charged, I'm sorry, I don't see it. I really don't. It's not like he was targeted specifically because he was black. He was targeted because he did something else that he fucked up and he shouldn't have done. That doesn't mean he should die, but that's not. But he wasn't targeted for his skin.
Let's clear that up for a quick second. Like, nobody deserves to die.
No. But again, call it what it is. It's not a racial thing. It's a tragedy that someone died that has no right or didn't deserve it, basically.
No, but like here's the thing as well. Like, if I'm sitting, like, if I got my knee on your neck, and like you're cuffed on the ground, like you're not going anywhere, and you're screaming, I can't breathe. My first instinct is get the fuck off your neck. Yeah.
Well, and the other, because there was like, what, 2 or 3 people total on him? Like, I don't think I'll be honest. I don't think it was necessarily the fact that they were on his neck that got him, because he was able to move his neck, and not for nothing, he was saying he couldn't breathe long before he was in that position. So it's a little bit of crying wolf. Like, at what point do you go, okay, this guy's just bullshitting us? But listen, when you're on there that long, like, and yeah, then he's continuing to say that he can't breathe. Maybe be like, all right, guys, ease up. Like, let's see if we can pull back a little bit, because you never know. He could. You could be saying that so he could get free. You know, you have to play the devil's advocate here. You don't know. And so if he springs up all of a sudden, like, now what do? You have to push him back down, but at least give him the opportunity to be like, okay, you know, if you're really having trouble, then all right, you know, get up a little bit. Let's figure out how we can maybe sit you down on the ground or something so you're still controlled, but you know, we're not going to be on your back or something.
Walk over here, like,
yeah. They definitely, there were multiple things that went wrong, and there are definitely things that the cops in particular should have done, and should not have done, but I still don't think that makes it a racial thing like you see in the media. That's where my beef is. It's like, oh, it's because he's black. It's like, no, it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not.
Well, it's also like, let's go back to that defund the police thing for a second. I'm trying to word this like carefully. It's not so much defund, like that's kind of the worst word to use in a sense. But really what you want to, like, really what their point is okay, the police department's budget has been going up and up and up every year. Education has been going down. You know, what if what if we took that money from the police? So, you know, does a small town, for example, like, let's say, like, you know, Westerly, Rhode Island, do they need police, like, armored cars and whatnot? No, they don't fucking need that. Like, I'm all for having them, like, get bulletproof vests and, you know, equipment that what they would need to keep the peace. Sure, absolutely. But do they need, like, you know, these tanks and, like, these military surplus equipment? No. So their point is, let's take that money, invest it into something else. Like, let's invest it into, like, other people on the force, like, you know, somebody who deals with, you know, mentally unfit people. Like, you know, let's put it back into education. Let's put it back into this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So I think that's more their point of, like, all right, let's not, like, so much take money away from the police. Let's reinvest it.
I don't know. I do hear people who are outright like, abolish the police, and I'm like, really, abolish the police? Is that really what you want? Like, and to use the word defund as sort of the part of the name of the movement, I think sort of indicates, yeah, no, they really do want to defund it. But yeah, I do think there are reasonable people out there who have the viewpoint that you just shared, which is, listen, we're not saying like completely defund it and abolish it. What we're saying is reform it. And honestly, you know, it'd be a good, if you have a town like, let's say, I know Billerica has one of those ridiculous armored cars that you're talking about. And does a town like Billerica need it? Hell no. So, you know, it would be a better thing for that money would be to educate cops to how they should, you know, handle situations like happened with George Floyd, or what happened with this taser situation. Like, maybe some more training is what's necessary. So in that case, we don't want to defund the police, maybe keep the funding the same. It's just what we have is an allocation problem, where it's sort of like sitting down to a budget and not realizing that you have to pay rent, and then you go, oh shit, now what? It's like, well, you didn't allocate your money properly. So it's not like, oh, well, abolish the budget. No, fix the budget. Like, that's really the problem. And maybe they do get a little too much money. I'm not saying that's not possible, but I don't think we need to outright abolish, nor do I think we want to outright abolish police. I think that's a terrible idea. But I do think that there are a lot of bad people potentially in the force still that just need some education, or maybe we can put some of that money into investigation to finding out, like, okay, what are the candidates we have for people who could actually legit be targeting people that they have no right to be targeting, because it is like a racial thing or something like that. Like, because I'm sure they exist. I'm not saying that those people don't. They most certainly do. So maybe there's an investigation they can do somehow. I mean, fuck, we live in the age of the Patriot Act. What can't they look into these days, you know? Look in these fucking cops' text history. Who are they talking to? Like, come on, like, be fucking cops, and, you know, look after your own as well as the people that you're supposed to be serving. You know, look into your own as well as the people that you're supposed to be protecting and serving, because otherwise you're not really protecting and serving us.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who said this, but I don't remember who said it exactly, but they made the point of, like, you know, oh, somebody was saying, oh, you know, it's just a few bad apples. It's like, okay, let's say we have 10 cops. One of them is bad. 9 of them are good. The one bad cop does something wrong, and the other 9 good cops are silent. He said, that doesn't mean that we still have 9 good cops. That means we have 10 bad cops because they're not doing the right thing and turning this guy over and saying like, hey, he fucked up.
Yeah. Although I guess they'd have to know about it too, right? I mean, are they necessarily going to be aware of every time that this guy, for example, pulled over a guy just because he was black? Like, are they going to be there necessarily every time that, you know, he does something? And I don't know. That's a hard thing to. But I mean, at the same time, like, doesn't everybody kind of do that when we see something on the street? Most of us probably just keep walking rather than, you know, reporting it or something. So I don't know, man. It's one of those hard things that there's really no good easy solution. I just don't think the answer is an extreme like getting rid of the cops, and that's what you hear.
It's hard.
It's really hard. It's really hard. Because obviously what happens is terrible, but really what I think it comes down to is that yeah, you do have some bad fucking people in the police force, and I think, you know, we haven't done enough to try to figure out who they are to get rid of them or to retrain them if that's possible. And I don't know. I don't know if there is fixing that. I mean, you're always going to have problems like that no matter what you do.
Like, as far as like retraining them, like, I think that would be the best thing. I think another thing you would have to do is, you know, somebody comes onto the police force, give them a psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah. Or and do them regularly also is probably another thing, because especially if they're in the field, like, you have to make sure that they're stable, because otherwise, like, you know, you never know, the years can add up quick, and then all of a sudden what was a perfectly stable officer coming in is now a fucking firecracker waiting to go off. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Because everybody handles stress differently too. You know, you put both of I in police uniforms, and I'm sure we both handle it much differently. So
Probably. Probably.
I'd want the desk job eating the donuts, personally.
I'd rather just have the job delivering the donuts.
To me.
Yes.
Fucking A, I can get behind that.
That's what I forgot to do on Thursday. Anyways, shit.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Fuck it.
It was funny. I actually thought about going to Donut Shack today, but they're closed. I was like, oh, damn you, Donut Shack.
It's all good.
That's all right.
I would have felt a little weird, like, you know, just riding on a subway with just like half a dozen donuts or something. Just going like, I mean, nobody's gonna be surprised that a fat guy's riding this thing with donuts, but still, like,
You didn't want to be a stereotype.
stereotypes hurt, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Shit, man.
But yeah, it was good seeing you for movies, dude.
It was, man. That was really good seeing you. And that was actually a first for that day, that for myself, that I hadn't done in fucking years.
Oh really?
Yeah. So instead of ordering like a water or something like that to drink, I got a fucking Red Bull. That was like the first like energy drink / like sugary drink that I've had in fucking years.
Really?
Really.
Haven't done soda or anything like that for a while?
Nope. No Coca-Cola, Sprite, anything like that. Nothing.
Right on, man.
Past, I want to say like, oh God, at least like, let's say it's 2021, probably like 7 years. It's been pretty much just all seltzer and water.
Right on.
Yeah.
What made you want to go for the Red Bull?
I don't know. I was like, hey, you know what? It's different. I've been up since 2:30 in the morning. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, I think I remember asking you, like, what, you need that extra kick or something like that?
Yeah, I was
And
like,
that's when you're like, yeah, I've been up since 2:30, and I was like, oh shit.
you're like,
all right.
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, why do you do this? You know you're coming. Like,
why do you hate yourself? Like, oh no.
Oh man. I was up late that night, dude. I was up really late that night after we got home. I'm one of those people that, like, once I get home from like a concert or just even out being in town, I'm sure I was still really stoked to seeing you and shit, but like my adrenaline is just so fucking high that I'm just like, what now? What now? What now? I'm like a little fucking puppy or something that's just been given a new toy. I'm like, oh boy, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go outside with it. So like I was just running around like a fucking crazy. Maybe that's why I'm so tired too, is because I had that really late night and I was kind of hungover the next day because I had a few too many movies. And but yeah, man, it was good times.
Well, yeah, I mean, It's also one of those things. It's like, how many nights have you had like that recently?
None.
Probably none.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you think you got away with one? Like, did you have to work the next day?
No.
Okay.
I was off Thursday, Friday, and then of course the weekend. So this is my last day before going back to reality, which kind of sucks. But I made it a point to make today like a chill day. So the only thing I had to do was get up early to go to church, which I almost didn't roll out of bed and do, but I did. And then after that, I was like, I don't have to really do anything today. So I tried to work on some music to be a good, responsible boy. But then I ended up watching a bunch of like YouTube and shit. Almost took a nap on the couch. Almost missed the podcast because I almost took a nap on the couch. So I was almost like, "Oh fuck, Andy, I'm sorry." But it all worked out. So that's why I'm so like low key and low whatever this afternoon is because I'm just like, fuck it. I'm kind of on vacation mode. Like I was supposed to be a studio weekend, but then I ended up like having lessons, and you were like, "Let's go to movies," and I was like, "Well, I don't really have a lot of time or as much time as I originally thought." So I was like, "Well, fuck it. It's just gonna be a vacation now. I mean, I'll do whatever I feel like." So,
Yeah.
so that's how I've been treating it, like a little vacation.
Yeah. Let's see,
You got to take them every now and again, right?
How's that song go? You gotta live like you're on vacation. I definitely feel you about going down the YouTube rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That's happened a couple of times recently.
See, I don't necessarily go down a rabbit hole. I just find shit that I want to watch, and then I'm like, I'd rather watch this than edit my shit. So that's what ends up happening. I'm like, I really should be, editing these songs and like, okay, because I have all the tracks, like everything that I've recorded, I've now put into my digital audio workstation, and I've got everything like, in there and imported to the right songs and everything. But now I have to like go through and move the parts to the right position so they're timed up correctly. I have to edit things, so like where I made a mistake, I have to go back and fill it in with like another part from the song or whatever. I have to find any missing tracks that I might have. Like I already know I have to go back and record like something for acoustic and something for electric because somehow I'm just missing shit. Don't know how that happened, but I mean, I guess that's what happens when you record like 80 different takes of stuff and don't notate it at all, and then go back like days later and try to figure out what the fuck you did like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so lesson learned, don't do that shit. Because I'm in sort of like a nightmare zone of like, oh my god, I have so much bullshit that I don't want to do, but I have to do it or it's not going to get done. So
Like the like the rabbit hole that I kind of went down was somebody would take like the clips from Paul Stanley's audiobook and just clip them together of him just essentially talking shit about all the other members of the band. So it was when he's talking shit about Gene and whatnot, and like it just reminded me there was a story that was in his book. So Paul goes to see like some other band, I can't remember who they were, but the opening act was Van Halen. He's like, holy shit, this band's really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, find out the next time they're playing. I bring Gene with me and whatnot. He's like sitting there enjoying the concert. He's like, eventually I look over, Gene's fucking gone. He's like, what I didn't know was that he went backstage to like talk to the band about recording a demo and signing contracts, blah 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 blah. He's like, so the next day, me and I think it was Bob Ezrin. He's like, we're in the studio just waiting for Gene and like a couple other people. And he's like, Gene walks in with this demo for this band called Daddy Longlegs. He's like, it was Van Halen. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. Gene almost killed Van Halen.
He almost killed Van Halen?
Yeah, he wanted to call him Daddy Longlegs.
Why? Were they because they were already going by Van Halen and he was like, no, you should be Daddy Longlegs?
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck, Gene Simmons?
Like, Gene, you're fucking like, no.
Oh man, I never knew that. I mean, I knew I knew that they were largely responsible for putting Van Halen on the map, but I didn't know that he wanted to change their name to Daddy Longlegs.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And like ultimately, like Paul like kind of wanted to like get him to record a demo and whatnot, and show him to other like places and whatnot. But he's like, look, me and Bob Ezra, we both agreed that like Kiss is the priority. So.
Bob Ezrin has done so much shit, by the way.
He really
like
has, man.
His name's been coming up for me lately because I've been working on Comfortably Numb, The Wall, and obviously he was a big part of that. So.
Yeah, he was a part of that. He was part of Destroyer, a couple of Kiss albums. I I think he worked with Alice Cooper as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like Welcome to My Nightmare, I think, was largely Bob Ezrin.
I think so.
And I think the one before that is, $1 Billion Babies was definitely largely Ezrin as well. So, I mean, basically, if you wanted an awesome rock song written, look no further than Bob Ezrin, basically. Yeah, he's a killer producer. He pretty much single-handedly wrote that the trial piece from The End of the Wall, because like Roger Waters had demoed stuff for it and whatnot, but really Ezrin was the one who like really made it what it was, and he also to a degree kind of made what was it Comfortably Numb what it was, because David had his piece, Roger had his piece, and they were trying to like reconcile the two together, and Ezrin was kind of the one responsible for being like, oh, do this and that and this and that, and here's this piece, and boom, there you go, Comfortably Numb. So if it weren't for Ezrin, like so much of The Wall would not be what it is. He really is like the hidden member of Pink Floyd when it comes to that album. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of like the Beatles had their producer, what was his name, George Martin?
I think
Where they
so.
say like 90% of the Beatles' genius is George Martin. Like George Martin, kind of like with the Comfortably Numb thing. You know that song "A Day in the Life"?
Vaguely.
Yeah, I heard the news today. Oh boy! Yep. And it starts with that part with Paul. He's like, "I woke up, I took a smoke, like all that shit."
Yep.
That was like one part, and then John had this other part with the I heard the news today, and George Martin was responsible for melding those together. So a good producer, man, can take you pretty far.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was a producer for Twisted Sister's record. I'm spacing on his name, but it was for the album Stay Hungry. But he is essentially like, once they got finished recording it and whatnot, he what was it? Tom Worman. Okay. Yeah, so it's Tom Worman. I think it was either him or it was one of like the engineers or something like that. They pretty much like put in a note for like the record company, like, look, if this album doesn't go platinum, I'll retire.
Oh shit.
He's like, that's how convincing. And like, you think about it, like that was the record with The Price, and We're Not Gonna Take It, I Wanna Rock, like 3 big hits right there.
Yeah. So he knew.
He knew.
Yeah, I mean, the good producers do. They can hear shit and they can be like, okay, yeah, that's like, even Butch Vig talks about like hearing Smells Like Teen Spirit for the first time. I don't know if you've ever heard that story. No. But he's told it in a couple like interviews and shit with but like, I guess, he got together with them in somewhere like in Seattle or whatever the fuck, because he had to, obviously listen to what the songs sounded like so he could figure out how best to record them. So he's like, all right, play me some shit that you guys are planning to work on. And so they launch into Smells Like Teen Spirit, and he just kind of paced back and forth listening to it, and he was like, that was great, play it again. And so like it was almost like he knew, like right from hearing it, like, okay, this is gonna be big. So even before like they recorded and heard what the tracks were sounding like, just the raw performance of them playing Smells Like Teen Spirit, he was like, oh shit, okay, this is gonna be something.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the good producers, they have an ear for just like, okay, that is some magical shit right there.
Yeah. It's almost like Jack Douglas with Aerosmith, like a lot of the early sounds, like like Toys in the Attic.
Yeah.
Like he was the guy who was just like pulled all that shit together and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, like a good band can become great thanks to a really good producer. Even a kind of shitty band can become good thanks to a great producer, but even the best producer can't make a really shitty band any good. So you got to have something coming into it for sure, but it doesn't hurt having people like Bob Ezrin or what was his name, Destiny, or who am I thinking? Worked with Kiss a bunch. And
Desmond Child.
Desmond Child, yes.
He was a songwriter for them.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't a producer, but he was a songwriter. Yeah.
Yeah. He's worked with Kiss. He worked with Aerosmith. What's his name? Ricky Martin, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Livin' La Vida Loca, like that was him.
Huh. I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Pretty much that's another one where like if you want a pop song and you want a hit, look no further than.
Yeah, just go with him.
Yeah.
Oh God, man.
Just ring him up. Just, hey, how's it going, buddy?
That reminds me of another story. It was Kiss related. Like I think they brought him in for the Dynasty album, or if you're listening in Australia, it's Dynasty. So
Their disco album.
yes. So I think Desmond Child was brought in to like write like a song or two on there. I can't remember. I kind of wish I had a way to check that.
If only we had something like an internet or something.
Yeah. So he wrote. So Desmond Child wrote a couple of songs here. Let me just pull this up here because I don't want to be inaccurate.
Yeah, Lord knows the internet will be all over you about a random Kiss fact. All three people who watch this show will be up your ass about a Kiss fact, I'm sure.
So according to Wikipedia, which here we go. Let's see. Paul Stanley wrote songs with Desmond Child. One called "The Fight," which was released on a Desmond Child and Rouge album, and one called "Tonight," which formed the verses of "I Was Made for Loving You" and was combined with a chorus written by Stanley and Vinnie Poncia.
Is that Vinnie Paul?
Vinnie Poncia.
Oh, but is that Vinnie Paul's like real name?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably.
Oh wait. Isn't Vinnie Paul from like fucking
Pantera?
Pantera?
Yes.
Yeah, he wouldn't be writing a fucking Kiss song. No way.
Oddly enough, him and Dimebag were both big Kiss fans. Like,
Oh really?
yeah, like Dimebag was buried in a Kiss casket. He had an Ace Frehley tattoo.
Oh shit.
Yep, huge influence on him. But anyways, so Desmond Child was a co-writer on the on "I Was Made for Loving You." So somebody was asked, like, if I remember the story right, and Desmond tells us in an interview, he was like, somebody asked Gene, like, what are you guys planning for your next album? He's like, well, we're not calling Desmond Child, that's for sure. And Desmond's like, I was a little hurt by that because I was like, well, it's one of the biggest singles you guys have had since fucking Beth. And yeah, thanks, buddy.
Seriously.
So, apparently Gene apparently found out he was upset about it. And Desmond's like, I come home one day and, they got my answering machine, push play on it, and there's a message. Hey, Desmond, it's Gene from Kiss. I'm sorry. Click. It's like, Jesus Christ, man, come on.
That is such a Gene Simmons apology.
It is.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. It's Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Sorry.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed. What other Gene fucking Simmons is there, pal?
Yeah, like.
Oh, you mean not the guy who serves me my fucking whatever I order at the deli? Oh, all right, cool.
Like you were not the bartender at Moobies when we went?
Oh, man.
Well, what do you say we move on from Kiss stories and we go into some fucking weird, goofy shit?
Let's do it. What do you got for me?
All right. All right. So this kind of sounds like something I would do in a sense. So there was a woman in Krakow, Poland, and this story's on the Huffington Post. Story goes, had quite a fright when she saw and what looked like a bizarre animal that had been hanging in the lilac tree outside of her home for a few days. And it's like, all right, well, I can see like getting a little worried, like, oh shit, there's like an animal in the tree outside of my house. It looks like it has trouble getting down. Like, let's call up animal control or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman called for help dealing with what she thought might be an iguana, according to the BBC. When the officers showed up at the scene, they were able to nab the mystery animal, and the animal in question turned out to be a croissant.
A croissant?
A croissant.
That's a big fucking croissant.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll take it. Sounds yummy.
Yeah, dude, croissants are fucking delicious. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, they are. How did she not did she not go outside to get a better look? Was she that afraid, I guess? She called animal control on a croissant?
No, I there's a picture of it with the article too, and you look at it and it just looks like this like almost like tanned piece of shit in her fucking tree.
Those damn kids. It's not even Halloween.
No, I'd be impressed because it's standing like straight up too. I was just like, shit, like I don't even know if I'd be mad about that. Like if it was a piece of shit, I'd just be kind of impressed. Like somebody was able to like, I don't know, get like a
Like
ladder or
shit
something.
sideways.
Just drop a deuce and literally just have it standing straight up in the fucking tree. Like I don't even know if I could be mad about that. I'd be pretty impressed.
Congratulations. Oh man.
Oh man. So you remember a couple of weeks ago I was talking about like a petty like ex-boss and whatnot who was
Yeah.
yeah. Like I go in to get my last paycheck, he just points to it on the desk, doesn't say a fucking word to me.
Yep.
I got off light compared to this guy.
Uh-oh.
So again, this is on the Huffington Post. So a Georgia man who received his final paycheck in over 90,000 oil-soaked pennies from a disgruntled former employer has experienced a change for the better, finally cashing out his huge chunk of coins.
Oh
So,
shit.
Andreas Flatten of Fayetteville, Georgia, originally found a pile of 91,515 pennies on his driveway in March with a note attached to him that read "Fuck you." I'm like, shit, I got off easy compared to this guy.
Yeah, holy shit, man.
So apparently, according to interviews, the penny pile was the work of Miles Walker, who owns the A.O.K. Walker Auto Body shop in Peachtree, Georgia. So Walker, apparently, according to this article, had reportedly denied giving this guy his last paycheck, and only acquiesced after the guy contacted the Georgia Department of Labor. It's like, well, dude, like you can't withhold his fucking money, like.
Yeah, seriously.
His paycheck.
So was him like dropping the pennies in the yard, sort of like, here's your fucking paycheck?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. What a douche.
So apparently Coinstar came to the dude's assistance. This is saying out in the article. After his story went viral, the company picked up the heap of coins, which Flatten had stored in a wheelbarrow with wheels that had deflated from the staggering weight, and gave him $1,000 in cash.
Holy crap. Nice, man. Way to go, Coinstar.
Yeah. Apparently, Coinstar CEO says the company processes approximately 41 billion coins annually. So picking up 91,000 pennies was all in a day's work.
Man, that's pretty cool of them, though.
That is pretty cool. Like, good on them.
I don't know when the last time I've seen a fucking Coinstar is, though. Like, I mean, to be fair, I haven't really been inside a supermarket in I don't know how long, but that's the last place that I remember seeing them is in supermarkets.
Yeah, like I had to go to Walmart earlier today get some shit, and there's like a Coinstar machine right there. And like I've got a coin jar somewhere around here. I can't fucking remember where. But it's got a good amount of fucking money in it. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna use Coinstar because fuck that noise. Like if you use Coinstar, I think it's like 7% of every dollar. Something like that.
Yeah, they do take a chunk out of it, which kind of sucks.
I'm just like, I'd rather wrap them myself, bring them to the bank. Okay, we're done.
Yeah, don't be lazy. Just do it yourself, says the guy who's can't be bothered to edit his own album.
Well, no, you get days like that. I get it.
Yeah, it's
like
just
I was also thinking about like buying one of those machines. It's like you dump all the coins in there and just it automatically like it's like fuck yeah, let's
those
do
are pretty
that.
Cool. We used to have one of those.
Yeah, because I don't want to sit there for like 5 hours just go.
Well, no, who does?
Fold this up. No, it's a pain in the ass. I'd rather just like, okay, here's a machine that fucking does that. Okay, done.
Yeah. We used to have one, but I have no idea what happened to it. It might have broken or something. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
But thankfully, we don't get as many coins as we used to either. I feel like nowadays, like, well, as we experience even at the House of Blues, like people seem a little hesitant to accept cash.
Yeah.
So, which I get because there's more like back and forth, more handling involved. And
yeah, I get that too.
That said, I was able to pay for my chocolate chip muffin at Dunkin' Donuts this morning with cash, so not a nooch.
Yeah. I did remember one thing in Boston though that I was a little fucking stupid about.
What's that?
When you go and you buy a subway ticket, like if you use credit card or debit card, you're fine and whatnot. But if you're using cash, like the total cost for me was like $4.80.
Yeah.
For essentially like round trip.
Mm-hmm.
I paid with a $20 bill. So That's
Oh,
like 15 change. I get $15 in fucking dollar coins and then
yeah.
20 cents. I'm just like, you dicks.
See, I went to a machine that wouldn't let me pay with cash. It was making me use credit card, which sucks because I went to the bank beforehand to get cash specifically for that, or for train fare in general. And turns out, yeah, they wanted a card. So I was like, oh fuck, all right, well, whatever.
Like I had my card with me, so it's like, all right, well, I've got a backup plan here just in case the machine's broken, doesn't accept cash or whatever have you. But
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, fuck. So I'm walking around with like 20 fucking coins in my fucking.
Oh, that's a bitch. I've had that
Yeah.
happen to me before, man. That sucks. You get patted down. Someone's like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to stand to the side."
I
Like,
hated that.
you get patted down. Someone's like, "Sir,
Well,
I'm
no,
gonna
it's
have to
even
ask you to
worse.
the
Like,
side
you
because
can
like
walk
you're
up to
carrying 20 pounds worth of coins. We view you as
No,
a threat."
No, like the worst thing is like, you know, they're like, okay, you need to step over here, and like you start walking over here, the changes are like jangling in your pocket. Sounds like an old cowboy movie.
You got me behind you going like ding 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 ding.
Some other smart ass.
Someone blows a tumbleweed through.
TSA guys is like, all right, you two get over there now. Like, you have to pat us down. Like, I don't need to.
You're too stupid to be a threat.
Just get the fuck over there.
Oh man.
Oh man.
It was good times though, man. I'm sorry you had to walk around with fucking 20 pounds worth of coinage though. That sucks.
Yeah, whatever.
And plus
Whatever.
too, like, where do you really use those things, you know? Like, I mean, it's money, you use it wherever you want, but still, like, you have so many dollar coins now.
Ugh.
I guess you
all
go
I
to
know
a
is
strip bar with it.
Well, no, all I know is I know I'm going to Disney in October, so I know I gotta get them cashed in before that. But like, the jar is almost fucking full, so
Oh man.
I should probably do something about that.
Yeah, you should.
Probably,
Probably.
but no, I'm gonna wait until it's full. Then I'm gonna do something about it because I'm stupid.
And you'll be like, damn it, why'd I wait till it was full?
Just picture me on the phone like later that day, like just calling out my bank, like, "Hey, it's Andrew from Kiss. I'm sorry."
They give you $1 coins back. You're like, oh fuck.
Like, oh, god damn it.
I guess
We
I
didn't even
deserve
ask
it.
for this. Like, you didn't have to. We know you were gonna do it anyways. Thanks. Like, you started it. How? Like, look how many coins you brought to us, asshole.
I kind of fucked myself over in a way, in the sense that I bought an extra fare. This is something I tend to do whenever I go into Boston, is I buy an extra fare just in case like I screw up which train I'm supposed to be on. And
Yeah.
then the thing with that is then like you end up never using it. So I've got like $4.80 worth of shit on a card with, you know,
Well, yeah. Like,
no purpose.
well, it's also
But I guess
like
next time
one
I
of
go
those
into
things-
Boston, I have fare.
Well, it's also one of those things too. Like, you know, the next time you go up into Boston, like the fare may change too.
Yeah.
It's like I know when I first started working in radio, it was like $1.50 for a trip, and then it got pushed up to $1.75, and then $2, and then now it's like $2.40 or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But I always like to play it safe because I'm one of those people that's always like, fuck, is it the inbound or is it the outbound? And now they don't label inbound or outbound. It's just by destination, which is, you know, I guess it makes more sense, but still doesn't help me get any less lost. So I always have a contingency plan of that extra fare just in case I have to go up and back through. You know, you never know.
yeah, like the thing that really screwed me up was when I was driving up to the Green Line station. Was like they changed all the fucking numbers on the highway marks,
Yeah.
all the exit numbers. I was like,
Yeah.
God damn.
Because
It's like-
Massachusetts loves you.
Yeah, because originally I think it was like exit like 21 or something like that I was supposed to take to get to the train station. I'm passing by exit 21. I'm like, oh shit! Like, did I just fucking pass it?
You're like 92. What the fuck?
Yeah, like seriously, what the fuck? Fuck you, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty recent thing.
Dicks. Yeah, like I know they did that on some of the highways here in Rhode Island too. Like it's like 295. They changed it up. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess ultimately it makes more sense because for a while there, you would have like this stretch of exits that were weirdly numbered, and everyone would be like, "What the fuck? Do these people not know how to count?" It's like, actually, no, we just don't know how to make roads. Like we have the Lowell connector that exists basically because no one had the foresight to be like, people might want to get to other places in Lowell a lot faster than they currently can. So they built this whole extension of a highway, which we call the Lowell connector, to basically do just that. It's got like 4 or 5 exits on it specifically to get to different places in Lowell.
Earn free crypto just by learning about it.
Yes, Lord. What about free crypto?
Fucking hate that. So I have to attach my phone to the fucking soundboard in order to get those goofy sound effects and shit every now and then. So I'm trying to exit out of it, and it's like, hey, here's an ad. Fucking you, dick.
Well, it makes me jiggle and giggle and. Oh
Dick.
man.
Fucking phone sucks. Anyways.
Fucking technology.
Yeah. I think that's gonna wrap it up for us today. Bruce, you got anything to plug, man?
Not really, man. Like I said, still just busy doing my thing. If you want to check me out on Facebook, just go check me out at BG Guitar. I'm on my website, wix.com, or BG Guitar. Fuck, I don't even remember the link. So no, nothing. Nothing. I'm in such a fucking. Oh man, I'm so out of the loop today that no, I'm good.
When you post this up to YouTube, man, just fucking.
I'll edit it. Yeah, I'll put it in. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
No, just fucking do it in post.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll do it in post.
Fuck it, we'll do it in post. So go check out my shit.
I love you for that. Anyways. I really don't have anything to plug right now, but oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'll plug Michael Rosenbaum's band Sunspin. Go check them out. Sunspin.com. Shared a few tracks with Bruce. He seems to really dug them.
Yeah.
And I'll give it this endorsement. I like their album more than Paul Stanley's album that came out, the Soul Station.
Pretty impressive, man. That is a high mark. That is a high mark. 'Cause, I mean, how do you contend with "Ooh Child"? And apparently you do contend with it.
I mean, for one thing, you sing it better than that, but yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, anybody would want to like take a quick listen to them. Like I recommend the songs "Best Days" and "Kicking Off My Shoes." So go check those out. You can just search for them on YouTube. I'm sure they'll pop up. But yeah, fucking awesome. Check out his podcast too, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Anywhere pods or downloadable. I think he signed with Westwood One too, right?
Oh wow.
I think so.
That's cool.
Yeah, so good on him. Good on him, man.
Yeah, man. Making them podcast ducats, baby.
Hey man, speaking of ducats. I got all my ducats in a row. I got nothing clever for that. I just wanted to say ducats. Funny word. Ducats. Quack, quack. What?
So then I quacked. What? And I quacked again. What? Quack, quack. What?
How many quacks do you want me to do? Shucky ducky. Quack, quack.
Oh, shit. Oh. Stone Cold Steve Duckin.
Jim Quacknet's manager. Quack, quack, motherfucker. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for us this week. Just be cool to everybody. Take care of yourselves, and just remember, take time to take care of your body. Otherwise, your body's going to make that time for you. So, listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Later.